Let's turn our attention to other conversations. We return to LECMA, the famous LECMA, where we continue our campaign, Fix LECMA. Now, we understand that one side of the 7.5-kilometer LECMA road will be open to traffic by the end of this month, and that the entire stretch will be completed in 18 months. We sent Roland Walker there this morning. He's there on the ground. Roland, what do you see? What can you report?
Well, we all do know that it's a 7.5-kilometer stretch. Now, what this means is that construction will be done at various sections of the stretch. And of course, we also do know that the president had been here, done some inspection as part of the project, and ultimately that's how come we got to know, as you also said in that intro, that ultimately by the close of the month we should have one section at least opened. What they're trying to do is quickly, the contractor finish that stretch as part of what you're seeing. So they have all these signs giving the diversions and the indications to oncoming drivers and vehicles as to what they need to do. They're currently doing the median section of the stretch. Ultimately, that will connect to the other sections that have been done. We're just in the early entry, or the initial entry into the section from the Kofi Annan end. So you get to find that the contractors are working with the various block workers to make sure that the median is done, and ultimately that also will lead to the surfacing. If you go ahead, you find that the graders and the other machinery that is used for the construction is ongoing. The most important thing is the assurances not only being given by the president, by the Ministry of Roads, and well, those who tend to ply also tend to have their own concerns being raised about the pace of construction, because usually since we started visiting the section of this stretch when the construction started, that has been the main concern of not only the residents around, and you can find many of them dotted around, because once construction starts, it also means that the dust tends to make entry into their homes, and then you get to have concerns being raised about the residents about the pace of the construction, because then they would have issues with how slow or perhaps how not too fast it is going. Ultimately, almost the same thing to be said. Now, I would want to speak to a couple of the commercial drivers. They tend to ply the stretch, and so we will first also get to speak to a driver who has decided to speak to us, and we will have him speak to us, and I would first would want to ask him, what's your name, sir?
My name is Mr. Boy.
Mr. Boy.
Yeah.
And you've seen since the initial issues were raised with the hashtag Joy FM, Joy News, Fix LECMA, now the road starting, you have seen the construction. What would be your own observation since it started?
My observation is that this thing must be concluded a long time. It has kept so much. So now they are doing well, but they are slow. Okay. You see, the team must go improve, because there's a lot of dust. You see, those who live in the other side, always you see how the car is going. There's a dust. All can give sickness. You see, so I'm preferring the government improve things so that this thing must be completed earlier.
But it's still better than no road construction at all on the stretch.
It is. It is.
But tell me, even though the construction is ongoing, how difficult is it for you as a commercial driver to ply the road?
As a commercial driver, they block part of the entrances. Because of that, when you are entering to one part, you have to go and turn a far place before you enter.
Okay, so you take me through the stretch from beginning, from when you're making entry through the Kofi Annan end, and describe for me the various issues you have, and maybe also the progress on the stretch, because it's a long stretch. We have a distance of about 7.5 kilometers as we have it from the Ministry of Roads.
A lot of work has been done. Truly, when you speak, it's quite all right for everybody to understand that. There are a lot of work has been done, but it remains.
Okay, so which section is this?
31st division, junction.
Okay, this is 31st
junction.
31st junction.
Yeah.
And then from here, I see that one part has been done up to which point?
It has done to the filling station.
Okay.
Yeah, that point. And from there to LECMA end on the bridge.
The LECMA end will be the hospital?
Yeah, the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
And after that, up to the junction? Is it Regimano or where?
I haven't been to that area too much, so I don't know what has been occurred.
But ultimately, we're told that by the close of this month, the contractor should be able to finish one end, and we're seeing that this will be the end. That should make you happy.
Oh, that should make me happy. It will make me happy because you see, when we are applying a rough, always we are changing things on the car. Always go to Aboso County bypass. So if one side is okay, we can, kept it like that.
But it means that, the ministry and the government has kept their faith with the promise they made.
A little bit.
What do you mean by that?
A little bit. It must be complete, fully.
Okay, to be done.
Yes.
The president says it to be done. He was here yesterday. He says it.
So.
All right, Mr. Boy.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I wish you the best for the day.
Thanks.
Okay. So where are you going next?
I'm just roaming. I'm finding somebody to pick. So.
All right. Okay. Thank you. And so you get to find that many of them are applying this stretch. I'll speak to another gentleman, and then we'll also get to have his view on the subject. Mainly, for those who have the private cars, the cars usually will be in good condition. Will be in good condition. So it will mean that it is the commercial drivers who tend to have a lot of problems. Now, so I want to speak to this gentleman as quickly as possible. Doing the interviews on the spot sometimes has its toll, but the commendation is that they are willing to speak. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
What's your name?
My name is Tetetaria.
Tetetaria.
I know.
Okay, I see that. Are you going to pick somebody?
Talk the tree.
Okay. Oh, no problem. Why don't we go?
Okay.
No, why we?
My Viega.
Men akani. No, oya.
Me ya Teshimambe.
Teshimami. Oya umukulu.
Okay,
so he's just having his usual rounds. There's no Uber, so they are not connected to any network at all. So he's just going around making sure that, he gets somebody to pick, or if he's able to get somebody to pick. But one lane. Are you familiar with a stretch? Stretch or a familiar? No, no, care me. Any afe, any.
Africa Germanet, Biana Ashe La Scala. Benashe La Scala. Now for half.
No, Jama fan half.
Da Jama Begona, as a Jama Shiku. I'm a 14, she a Shaku Manet, a Shaku Jama.
If you, he says that they've started the construction from Manette and they've done various sections and so they've done one end, just like we're also told by the president or the Ministry of Roads that one will be opened by the close of the month. She Obanyoro Owe about the pace of work. Beni afe in terms of quickly as possible. Hanye.
Oh, Bella, Bian Leto, Biawa. She Dromona, but don't feel like I feel like she Ibawa. Never feel like a bear one, I feel correct. I feel correct.
MPA,
oh, MPL, Biadele, careful, but you found better one like a bomb. But you didn't bow on her. I said, I will go, no, Sunday bomb down or a bay. I got better Shimam fair, no, didn't bow on 93. No, I got feel bad, a bad problem.
And the member of parliament here is Dr. Neo Koboy. I decided to mischievously ask that question about whether the MP was doing well or not. And he said, oh, yeah, this is a great mark of commendation for the member of parliament for the area. And that for the residents of Teshi, one of the key issues they have usually has always been their road. And once this main road is also constructed, it means that residents along the stretch, those who tend to ply the stretch in the constituency, will be happy with him. We could even give him a nod for another term. Well, that's also for another day. But no, me know about onye no wie he ni ji o concern ye pace ni ake fegbe.
Oh, me no you are jagashi. Better me feel like what I miss wa no go boyle. Modomo na first year what feel what feel no like Bella we feel what I if I feel bad no be we me I feel bad no Bella me na mi share wa
Okay, so the politics of it, and he says that so far,
thank you.
Okay, so he's going back to work. He's on the road trying to get the various areas covered according to his usual route, and so he says he's happy that the road has been done or is being done, and ultimately you get to find out there's a certain section which is start, and this will lead you to the Lekma Hospital area. There are patches of it or sections of it which ultimately are still quite not completed, and so you get to find that they are almost like the one just in front of me here. You find that the construction ahead 50 meters as the main construction sign or indicator is there. It also gives some relief to drivers who are coming in. They'll get to know what it is. But this is a state of the construction, but we've had sections also that have been fully completed, and it helps in many regards in trying to get to know how far the contractor has gone. The key concern they have is the pace of work, and they would want it because you get to find out when you're coming, you have a lot of dust that because of the state of the construction usually keeps cropping up, being the concern, and so they would want it to be done as quickly as possible so that they don't have to suffer all that. But that'll be the summary scene we have on the stretch. This stretch, 7.5 kilometers, takes you up to the Mane Junction, which adjourns the Spinters Road as it is. But that'll be it for now. We go back to the studio for the latest updates on the AM show.